Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Saturday Night Live stream. There we go. Got a new fan, so I'm stepping on a new electric cord down here. Let's see if I can fix it. I'm stepping on it so bad. I don't know. Anyway, looks like probably should make a post. Oops. Alright. Well, maybe because my live stream isn't showing up. What's up, Jeremiah? How you doing, man? I will flip the camera around just because who wants to look at a static? Yeah, it's not much better looking at my ugly mug, that's for sure. But anyway, at least there's something moving. Yep. Alright. Let me find my live stream because it is not popping up for me. Oh, cool. New Nuke's top 5 video. Like to watch those. You guys watch the like paranormal Nukes, and there's another one that I like to watch. What's the name of that other one? Nukes top 5. Dang, I can't remember the name of it. Probably because I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Do I have a bald spot in my beard? No. I mean, right here, like, on the sides. Probably needs brushed a little bit. I didn't just take a shower like I normally do. I've been messing around with some other stuff. Yeah, my beard's a little bit out of sorts. I don't know, why'd you ask? The mustache is a bit unruly. Yeah, you know, I mean, it just kind of, that, honestly, I've paid attention to facial hair since I was a kid. Literally started growing facial hair when I was like 12, I think. Definitely by the time I was 13. I was in 8th grade, I think. Anyway, I know a lot of people have issues like here. So I got to shave clear up to about right there. I keep that line pretty well shaved in right there. But this I don't have to shave. Right here, it just doesn't grow. Like right here, I don't get it. Like why? What is like? I've seen people, like it's not exactly common, I don't think, but I have seen people that grow hair all the way up to the lip, all the way across. It's a genetic thing, I guess, would be my answer to that. And the whole myth of shaving more and more often, I think that it is a myth. There may be a little bit of something to it. I had a buddy in high school, but it also has a lot to do with like a boost in testosterone levels and some other factors that it's diet, certain other things can factor into it. But I had a buddy in high school that was always like giving me crap because he couldn't grow his full beard in, and he went in the Navy. And when he came back from the Navy, where they made him shave, I think he did shave every single day, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was by the rules or whatever. But now, like, he can grow a very full beard, but he had like bald spots on the sides and stuff, so he had issues with growing his in. But he was young, obviously 18 when he went in. He might have been 19. I think he did fail a year in school. But anyway, I guess maybe the consistent diet and the shaving every day, a lot of that had played a factor in it. But now that I'm older, I don't think there's much that I could do to affect, like, adding to what facial hair you can grow. I do think that there are ways, like with your diet and certain things like that, where you can grow your hair longer and make it more healthy. But as far as like places where it doesn't grow at the age that I'm at right now, you're never going to get it. But all the way up until you're like 25, it's possible, maybe even 27. It's possible for you to for you're still going through changes, and it might still come in. You know what I mean? Lip hair. So, what's kind of what that is. It is it gets a little old, to be honest. Like it does at this point. Like I really don't notice it too much. But every time I take a drink of something, if I drink out of a cup, it's just like your eyebrows or your eyelashes. It's meant to kind of collect water, and I guess, or it's not meant to. It just does. These are meant to, but that it just does. And I notice sometimes, like, I'll be dripping because of the amount of liquid that gets stuck in my mustache and stuff. Hey, what's going on, Kaylin? I was getting ready to make a post. Let me make a post here real quick. Looks like we got a few folks in here. Did I? Oh, yeah, no, it's not showing it. What in the heck? Yeah. Select more photos, done. Alright. I gotta find the link to the live stream first. Nope, that's not how I need to do it. I have to go to my channel, go to live, and there it shows. Okay, alright. Share, copy link, go back home, make a post, slap a picture on with the link, paste. Alright, looks good. Post. Done. Alright, cool. Alright, so tonight, took me a minute to get everything straightened out there, apparently. Oh. YouTube's asking me for feedback, wanting to know how satisfied are you with creating posts? I would say it gives you 5 options: not satisfied at all, slightly satisfied, moderately satisfied, very satisfied, and extremely satisfied. I think 3 options would have been enough. Not satisfied, it could do better, and it's perfect. Don't change a thing. I will go with very satisfied. Oh, here we go. Please tell us why. Tools are easy to use, fun features, easy to post. Tools are easy to use, easy to post. Had tools I needed. Yeah. Can connect with my audience. Okay, alright, that looks good. Submit. You're welcome for my feedback, Google. Little did we realize back when this whole internet thing started that our collective information would be so valuable. But here we are. All of our information's been collected for decades now. And, yeah, they sell it for millions, billions, probably worth trillions of dollars. It's wild. Never really dreamed that would have been the case with the internet 15, 20 years ago. I didn't realize, I'm not very tech savvy, but the people that were in tech probably knew. They probably understood what the goal was, what they knew They knew what was going on. All right, I'm going to flip the camera around. Let's take a look at what I got going on here today. All right. Let's get down here a little bit. Okay, first off, if y'all happen to see these this year, if you like Reese's peanut butter, if you like a, I don't even know how to describe these other than, peanut brittle is not a good description of what these are and what they taste like. They are, there's like a slight molasses in there with the actual peanut butter flavored chocolate part, the cup part that's around the filling. These things are the best Reese cups that they've ever came out with. Why they don't make these a staple, a daily. I do like the white chocolate ones as well. They're pretty good. But if you see these, I highly recommend you try them because you're probably going to want to get more of these. I don't know if they even still do them. These are from like 2022, maybe 2021, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long the Best Buy dates are because it says 7 to 23. So this is probably from 22, I would say. But they are tremendous. I just wanted to, I seen these in there. These come out around this time, the holiday time is whenever they came out in 2022. I don't know that they were out last year, but if you see them, you should try to get one. All right. Hang on just one second. All right. But I wanted to start off by talking about MRE menus in general, talking about the modern era, and in particular, talking about this menu right here, menu number 20, hash browns with potatoes and bacon, and peppers. So let me read it exactly with the nomenclature that they provide. Menu 20, hash browns, potatoes with bacon, peppers, and onions. And of course, underneath there, you've got your French, which started in 2013, or might have started in 14. 13 might have been the last year without it. I can't remember. This, of course, is produced by the Warnick Company out of Cincinnati, Ohio, not far from where I live, a couple hours. This should be the last year. Warnick doesn't put date, that they don't stamp the dates on them, unfortunately. Usually it's right here in this heater seal, this heat seal at the bottom. There will be a machine that stamps it in there. Why Warnick doesn't do that is a question that I would like to ask. You would think that would be a requirement on every single one of these outer packagings like that. But for some reason, they did not require... Well, Warnick's the only one that doesn't do it. Okay, the other two companies do it. Ameriqual and Sapaco both put dates on their packaging. You know, that's a question that I would like to ask. Why not? Like, in the manufacturing sealing process, I'm pretty sure they could put that stamp right after the heat seal. Right after it's heat sealed, hit it with the stamp. As long as the stamp is lined up properly with the heat seal, there shouldn't be any worries of compromising to the packaging. Now, without the stamp, you do have the fact that it can't put a pinhole or any way for air to get in there. I mean, technically, I guess that's better. Where they could stamp it with ink. I mean, obviously, there's ink that is very hard to get off of these bags. So, I mean, you can see it's worn a little bit right there. And this MRE has only been out of that bag, or out of the box, probably a couple times. I probably took all the menus out a couple times. I opened that case. I bought that case basically to just give all the MREs away out of it. I did keep this menu for myself out of that case. And I do believe it's a 2019. It could be a 2018. But 2019 is the last year for this particular menu. Why? You know, like, this is one of their best menus. And this particular main, if you can throw it into a skillet and fry it, like basically like breakfast hash browns, like, you know, fry it up and crisp it up a little bit. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you right now, you don't even need to add any grease or anything like butter or anything like that to make it non-stick, because it's already in the main itself. You can just cut it open, slap it right in a skillet, fry it up, and it comes out amazing. It's really, really good. And these are not going to be easy to get your hands on. Now, they did transfer the hash browns, this exact same main, they transferred it over into the sausage patty menu in 2020. I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't know if it's made it all the way up to 2024, but I hope, because that did turn into a very good menu. Now that menu has the sausage patty, comes with the hash browns. I think it's got the granola in it, and I'm not sure what else is in that menu. But hang on, I can look real quick. Actually, no, I can't. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I think MRE info only goes up to 2021. I was just talking with K-Man, as a matter of fact. Shout out to K-Man for creating MREinfo.com, which really, without it, I don't know if any of this YouTube stuff would even exist. The community wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be talking to each other right now through the chat. What's up, Thomas Talbot? How you doing, man? Let me click into 21 and let's see exactly what is contained in the sausage patty menu. Should be... Where did they move it to? Let's see. Okay, is it menu 24? What's 24? Southwest style beef and black beans. Well, usually it's... Huh. Alright, let me find. Where's the sausage patty menu? What the heck? Hang on. Menu 4, menu 5, chicken chunks. Here, you guys can look with me. Beef taco, beef strips, meatballs, beef stew, chili mac, cheese pizza. Oh, they did a vegetarian just cheese pizza in 21. Huh. I haven't seen that one. Elbow mac. So they got the 4 vegetarian menus. Mexican rice and bean bowl. Yuck. They did put a canned raspberries first strike bar in there, though. That's awesome. I mean, that menu's all right. I mean, pretzel nuggets, that's not bad for a snack on the go, just not with a meal. All right. Chicken burrito bowl. There it is. There it is, right there. Menu number 17. Make maple pork sausage patty. And it comes with the hash browns, potatoes, bacon, and peppers and onions. Granola with milk and blueberries. A maple muffin top, trans fat free. Some smoked almonds. I think they could have done better. Breakfast menu. What are you doing putting smoked almonds in a breakfast menu? I get throw them in your pocket for later in the day, but we could have done something really a lot better with that caloric spot. Don't you guys think? Like, we could have done something breakfast oriented right there. They missed it. Comes with maple syrup, so you can make yourself a pancake with the maple muffin top. That is the way to go with those, in my personal opinion. But you can also make a maple pork sausage patty sandwich, and then having the hash browns on the side, it kind of, with that savory addition, because the maple pork sausage patty is sweet without doing any, just taking it straight out of the package. It's quite sweet, man. It tastes like it's been marinating in corn syrup and fake maple flavoring, you know. And then there's a hot beverage bag and accessory packet A, which is your standard accessory packet that comes in most of them. It's kind of sucks. Waffle bits. That's an item I'm sure they could shelf stable and put in. What else would work? That's a good question. What else? Let's talk about that for just a second and then we're going to get this thing opened up within the next couple minutes. I also want to talk about rations we can't get anymore, and I quite frankly feel like they were taken for granted when we had access to such a large array of not only just American items, but when Bob had Minotaur going and MRE Nation, the international stuff, the build your own MREs, man, that stuff, looking back, Like, you just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of expected it to be there type of thing. Now you can't get your hands hardly on anything. Like eBay is, it's being awesome about MREs being on their website and stuff. So yeah, what would be a good current menu item? Let's look through and see what else is going on in other menus that could have possibly worked as a side item. I'll tell you one thing they need to do. They need to come back with the, or the, they use it. They still make it, but it's mainly in the group rations. They do an actual, it must be freeze dried fruit juice. It's like 40 or 50% fruit juice. They do an orange and they do a grape. And as a matter of fact, Kaylin sent me the grape ones one time before. I think she sent me 4 of them. They were amazing. They were amazing. They were actual real fruit juice in a powder form that you added water to. They need to bring that, some sort of natural element back. You still get the same caloric. You can add the sugar, whatever. That's fine. But let's go the more natural route. Let's kind of, I don't know why they insist on artificial as much as possible. Let's make everything as artificial. It lasts longer. Have you guys noticed your bread? Have you guys noticed your bread ever since COVID? This is something that I don't know if people are talking about this or they've even noticed, but my bread does not go bad. I have done experiments like, all right, I'm going to leave that bread set there just to see how long it'll take for it to mold. It won't mold. It's like that old McDonald's. You remember, I don't know, it was probably 10 years ago, that guy found a McDonald's cheeseburger in his jacket pocket that he put in there the day that he retired from like selling vacuums or something, like door to door. So it's been a long time ago. And he pulled that thing out and it didn't have a lick of mold on it. No, nothing. It got hard, obviously, because the moisture had left. But it still looked like the cheeseburger. There was no mold. Our bread's not molding. I did an experiment with milk. I had milk that didn't go bad for like 6 months. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. What else could they have put in this menu in place of... Wait, what do we... Oh, yeah, the almonds, the smoked almonds. There's got to be something breakfast-oriented, because I know... Well, they could have put a... They could have put a First Strike bar in there, that like a breakfast bar kind of deal. That would have been a better option, in my personal opinion. And then this menu would have been absolutely stacked. Think about that. Well, I'm a cran raspberry, like, mega fan. I love the cran raspberry First Strike bars. You could do the mocha, you could do the chocolate, you whatever, just the breakfast bar. That's a good option. They do also have those protein bars. I had one sitting around here somewhere. They got the marshmallow one, and then they got something else too. I can't remember what the other one is. What else could they put in there? They could have put the chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder in as also. Yeah, apple cinnamon is the bottom for me because, quite frankly, it doesn't taste like apple, really, and it doesn't taste like cinnamon, really. Like, it tastes... What does it taste like? It tastes like... It has like a caramel hint to it, and if it's their attempt at an apple or a cinnamon, like, they're both really weak. They could have done much better. Has anybody suggested anything else we could have put in here? Oh, Greg, Investory. How you doing, man? Good to see you. You're right. American, we need to fix our foods, and we all need to complain about this. We all need to tell them, these manufacturers, it's the companies, and it's not the farmers, really. They're being forced to use anyway. Things could be a lot different if we decide they're going to be different. Like, let's just decide it's going to be different. A breakfast pizza would be awesome. Some sausage. They've already figured out how to make that shelf stable, which it pretty much is. Some egg. Put some, like, dry egg on there. I don't care if it's a little dry. Just even put the freeze dried on there. You know what I mean? What else? Yeah, it's chilly out there, dude. What else would be on that? Some potato in the hash brown form and some cheese. Breakfast pizza. That should be a thing. I mean, they got cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza, fake bacon pizza. Fake bacon, by the way. Bacon is extremely shelf stable. Why they didn't use real bacon, I'll never know. Oatmeal. Well, there's already the granola. The blueberry granola is in there. It's the hash browns. It's the sausage patty. It's the blueberry granola, and then it's the almonds, and then the drink mixes and stuff. What else do they have that could go in there? Let's see. Chocolate protein drink powder. I guess that could work. Bring back the cocoa beverage powder. Come on, like the old school. Bring back the '80s cocoa beverage powder. I've had the older stuff. Didn't age well because of the packaging, really. But it was very similar to the '80s stuff. I could tell, even though it was bad. What else could have went in there? I mean, I guess jelly. Yeah. Yeah. Some jelly and crackers. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a toast. That's what I'd want. I think that's what I would prefer to have over the almonds. Give me some crackers and some jelly, strawberry preferably, and I'd be happy. What else? That's about it, man. Well, eh. Oh, cherry blueberry cobbler. That could fit in there. Blackberry preserves. I think we got it. And a real orange beverage, a real fruit orange beverage base, or grape. Grape would be fine. Oh, shoe is hurting my foot bad. I think I'm gonna change my shoes. Picked a bad time to put on new shoes. Well, they're my son's shoes that he never wore. All right, hang on just 1 second. Let me go get out of these shoes. I didn't be able to stand there for an hour like this. Okay, much better. Much better. All right, let's get into this thing. Let me take a look at the chat real quick. Add a kitten. Yeah, I cannot wait to get my studio set up. Which, I mean, I prefer to stand anyways, to be quite honest. It's just those shoes were killing my feet. They were Cortezes, Nike Cortezes. But my son, I think he only wore them like once or twice, and I cleaned them up today. They look brand new. I was like, I'll try those out. Yeah, it was a bad move. Ah, that is an international take, investory or Greg. Um, yeah, pate is a great option for people that don't live in America. Look, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be any certain kind of way. It's just, it's not something that most people in America were brought up with. Now, my grandma, when she was growing up, they had the same people that make I think it's Armor, that makes what are those things called? The little sausages? Oh, come on. They are, it's been so long since I had any. I had a vintage can of them that I ate one time, and they were fine. Kalen, Vienna sausages. Yes, correct. So they also make a potted meat, is what it's called. I remember it like a pate. It could have been more solid than a pate, though. I can't remember exactly because it's been... How old am I? Wow, it's probably been 22 to 25 years since I've seen any of that stuff. Oh, okay. It is more solid, the potted meat. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up? CT is here. Golf clap for you. Shelf-stable buttermilk biscuit. Yet they need to make a real good biscuit. We need to address our bread problem, because America's bread is like mainly just sugar. And that's why you're seeing it not go bad. Well, that's one of the reasons why you're seeing it not go bad. There's something else changed also in 2020, 2021. Something around that weird, era. There were some major changes that happened in our milk and our bread, for sure. Wouldn't surprise me if eggs too, because if you always go back decades, maybe even 100 and some years, when you talk about food and like grocery items, like the main things that people want to refer to are milk, bread, and eggs. Well, I know the bread is weird now, and I also know the milk is weird now, so that makes me wonder, are the eggs weird now too? Are they lasting? Which, eggs do last a long time. If you keep them in the fridge, I don't know, man. They last a long time. I've eaten some pretty old eggs. All right, let's get this MRE opened up. Like I said, this should be the last year. It should be a 2019, and we'll talk more about like rations like this. This is the only one of these I have. I wish I'd have got two of them so I could have reviewed one of them. As a matter of fact, somebody gave me that. It was haven't seen him around for a while. He's basically my neighbor. Dang it. Wow. It'll come to me. But this thing is just, look at that. Completely jam-packed full of food. I want to say this thing was over 5,000 calories. If I'm not mistaken. Looks like something weird going on inside of there. Look at that. Huh. Something opened up or something. Because it's, I don't know. That sucks. But this is like Norwegian Arctic equivalent, is more or less what this is. So we'll take a look at that after we'll open it up and go through the whole thing. I mean, I've never looked inside of it, so I really don't know what comes in it. I think there might be if there's a menu list, I'd prefer to just do that, because if I unpack this, I'll probably never get it packed back up. I'm not seeing a menu list in there. Huh. Well, all right. Menu number 20. Again, Warnick. You gotta love the government property commercial resales unlawful. Flameless ration heaters are prohibited on commercial airlines unless sealed in original meal bag. They can fly like this. They do not have to be in the original case. They can fly like this. I don't understand what the freaking problem is. Who came up with this idea that there was some sort of problem shipping MREs? There's no problem shipping or flying MREs as long as they are sealed. If they are still sealed in the original packaging, such as this is, there's no issue. It even says right there, the government did the test. They've done the thing. If you go online and you look, one of the only fires that I know that's ever started because of supposedly because of flameless ration heaters was a shipping container years ago that was completely full of MREs. That's all that was in the shipping container as far as I understood. Somehow, some way, a flameless ration heater got moist, got so hot that it caught fire and burnt that shipping container and its contents down. So this is probably, I can't think of anything better. Now, this is probably number one on my list, right? For 2019. This was only in circulation for 5 years. Again, they did move this main over into the sausage patty, so now it is probably up there, number one, number two. But if you're looking for a savory dinner type meal, I would pick something different, obviously. But if you're talking about a breakfast menu, which they don't make enough of them, I think there should be at a minimum 8 breakfast menus out of the 24. I think a third of them should be, because if you got 20 guys and you got, 5 cases of MREs, there's going to be guys getting shorted on the breakfast. They're going to have to eat something like freaking chili or something stupid for breakfast. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's cool. I think there should be more breakfast options. Even if you got to double up, man, make this another menu. Change some sides out, or leave it the same. Make more than one of these, or come up with a case. Well, no, it needs to be in case A and B. There should be duplicates of breakfast if they're not going to do something else, like make a third case. All right, we're going to try to open this thing the classic way. All right, there it is. It smells like plastic. That's all it smells like. All right, let's start off with some crackers. Yes. Crackers, that's going to be the equivalent of some toast, breakfast-wise. We'll look at that in a second. Oh, yeah. Mountain House granola with milk and blueberries. One of the coolest items, one of the best items that's still in circulation is that right there. Love me some granola. I love the blueberry granola. It's so good. It's so good. You can doctor it up, add some stuff, and make it even better, but it's great right out of the package. And, of course, we got some dry, roasted and salted peanuts. I don't know that I've had these before. Not packaged like that, anyway. And we have a regular old cheese spread, kind of like loose right there where it's solidified up. And there is no way this is actually an ounce. There's no way. This has got to be missing a little bit. Certainly solidified, so it needs a good kneading. Oh yeah, honey roasted peanuts are good. That would have been a lot better choice for a breakfast menu as well, I feel like. Plus you get that added little sweet touch. I mean, it's nice to have something savory though, I guess, but you got this cheese spread, which you know. What else we got here? We got our partially biodegradable spoon. We have our, of course, this is an accessory packet, ABB. All right. Ooh. I didn't know this was in here. That just, cran raspberry. Ooh. CT don't like these things, really, I guess. Or Smitty. One of you guys don't like those. I remember that. And we have our hash browns. Peppers, onions, bacon. And that is everything. Not a bad looking menu, if I may say so myself. Of course, you got your hot beverage bag, which, you know, whatever. You got your flameless ration heater. And here is our nutritionals for the hash browns. Looks like we're rocking 270 calories. What are we looking on sodium? 930 milligrams of sodium. Good God. Heart attack in a bag. 39% of your daily value. Let's be honest, for a normal person like that, it's a little higher than that. That's a lot of salt. That's all I'm saying. And usually the stuff don't taste that salty. Just is. Super duper salty. Alright. We'll check out that accessory packet here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and go get this in some boiling water. Be right back. Give that about set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes starting now.
Actually, stop that timer. Start a timer for 5 minutes.
There's already a 3-minute timer. Replace it. 5 minutes. Counting down.
All right. Got rid of some of my spoons so I could have room here. I need to get rid of a bunch more. All right. I'll put the peanuts over there. Oh. Cheese spread. All right. Let's see what's in this accessory packet. We'll use a little IFAC razor blade. Super duper razor sharp, obviously. There's no mystery to this. I mean, you can see right through it. All right, we'll start off with some cinnamon style Chiclets gum. And then we got us a beverage base orange type 3. Yummy. No sugar. It's one of those awesome. We got a creamer, non-dairy dry. We got us sugar, 4 grams, not enough. We got some Bill's Brew, freeze-dried coffee, 1.5 grams. Wow, they're really skimping on this. How many? What's it? 6 ounces? 6 ounces of water. 1.5 grams. Come on. You got your moist towelette, latex free, of course. You got to worry about them allergies now. Has anybody in here got an allergy to latex? Maybe I do. I don't know. I had some of the bandages and stuff that they used on me like burnt my skin, so I could have that. Iodized salt, plenty of that. 4 grams of that. Same amount of that as the sugar. And of course, you got your United States issued butt rations. Use this to clean the old backside, or you can wipe the front side and call it a napkin. Whatever. And last but not least, a way to start a fire. They give you matches. These matches are designed especially for damp climates. So don't use them in the desert because they won't light whenever they get wet after a long period of time. After long exposure, or quote, or parentheses, several weeks to very damp air. And they are white-tipped matches, brown stalks, strike on back, of course, and you know they're made by D.D. Bean & Sons, of course, out of Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Yep. All right, that's everything. That is everything. We got some Bill's Brew, we got some creamer, we got some sugar. Don't need that. Don't need that. Put that crap over here. All right. Coffee cup. And the bottle of water. Let's use, of course, we're going to use our delicious MRE cup. Guys, go subscribe to Delicious's channel. It's right at the top of my description. I need to polish this bad boy up a little bit. There we go. That's better. That's better. There's the English side and the Polish side. Those hash browns are boiling over in there. I'm going to have to go do something about it. Coffee. Freeze-dried granules. Big old granules. Well, that didn't go as planned. I just made a mess with that. Oh, wow, and I dropped it in the cup. Now, these things right here, this packaging is like, it's really good packaging. For the creamer, like these creamers will last forever. All right, cool. Well, then I can go take that off the oven. Let me go ahead and put the creamer in here, and I will go get the main. Because it is definitely boiling over. I guarantee you, because of this packaging, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years from now, this creamer will still be viable. As long as it's stored in a cool, dry place, that creamer won't go bad. And it's because of the packaging. Probably some preservatives in there as well, but all right. I'm going to go get some hot water out of my water tank in here. Be right back. what's inside of that pot, but it needs cleaned out. Alright. There's what the coffee looks like. Those freeze-dried chunks of coffee don't exactly dissolve very quickly. That water is hot. Can you see the steam coming off of it? It's very, very hot. I don't know if it quite boils the water, but it gets pretty daggone close, I'd have to say. I think. I just said I think twice. I think. Alright. Dang, I got sugar everywhere. Huh. I'm going to have to get another bowl, because I only got one big bowl. And then I need two. Usually don't need two, but I need to. Well, you know what? I guess I can get away with just making half of the granola. Freaking sugar is everywhere. All right. Let's get the other drink mix mixed up. I think it calls for 20 ounces. Yep. There it is. 20 ounces of water. I'm putting it in less. This is 16.9. Not much powder in these things. It does have a slight orange color to it. It's kind of hard to tell, but holy, ooh, ooh, that is not good. Very artificial orange and tangy, not sweet. Oh, I don't know. This ain't gonna be all that good. The raspberry one of these sugar-free drink mixes like this are decent, but I'm not a fan of pretty much anything with aspartame in it. I mean, this comes out looking very similar to what Tang looks like when you mix it up, but after this sets here for a minute, it'll clear up considerably. It might even become see-through after it sets. But right now, it is not. You can't even see my finger. Stella! Can't even see my finger on the other side of there. Stella's still been having some issues. I would say, stop your whining. What are you whining for? Didn't you already eat? She didn't eat. Well, you're feeding her too much. What's the matter? Time out, guys. What's wrong? Are you sore? Are you sore? Huh? Is your leg sore? Huh? Legs hurting? You ain't ate nothing yet. Legs hurting? I took her over before I come and got everything set up for the live stream. I took her over to the neighbors, and they have a golden retriever. I think it's full-blooded golden retriever. And let her play. It's a rarity. I think I've been able to take her over there like 2 or 3 times before, and where she can't really run away now because she can barely run because of her leg or her legs. I'm not real sure if it's legs or leg, but Amber seems to think that now she is sore because of that. Here, let's go see her. Let's go see Stella. It's a little dark over there, but keep it that way on purpose. All right. Hey, you gonna cry to the people? You don't like that I'm looking at you, huh? You got a problem? Are you camera shy? I ain't got nothing to give you, but you want to speak? What? What? Speak. Say I love you. Speak. I'll go get you something. Oh, all right. So you're just not feeling good. Your nose is running a little bit. Oh. Wrinkles. Look at your wrinkles. You want to speak? I know you're sitting. You can shake. Give me your paw. You shake. Oh, it's a good girl. That's a good girl. All right, speak. Speak. What? What? Good girl. Chew it up good, please. All right. Back to the food. Here we go. Is that what you wanted? At least shut her up for a minute, huh? Good enough. Good enough. All right, so let's start with the crackers. See if we get, of course, these are sealed perfectly. Oh, yeah, forgot to look at any of the date codes. 122nd day of 2019. This is the last year for this menu, as a matter of fact. 100th day, 9100 on that bad boy. And then dry roasted. What's on the cheese spread here? There it is. 9086, so the 86th day. That's about right. What's on here? 81st day, so this is the oldest item so far. What's on the main? Wait a second. Oh, 73rd day. Oh, excuse me. Hash browns is the oldest. Why did I burp? That's so weird. Oh, I took a drink of water. Okay, I guess that's why. All right. Nice. Very good. Now, these new style, new type crackers, whatever the binding agent is that they used to use, the old crackers were so much better. I want to figure out if they've done away with the crackers as well. Like, is that something that they have actually done? Look, watch. I mean, just bull crap. We could literally have crackers that are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old hold up better than these brand new ones. And yes, it does have to do a little bit with them not having a box on both sides of the bags like they used to. But these new crackers just don't. They don't hold up. They really don't. You know, they're always trying to improve things. But sometimes it's not really improvements that they make. It's really to the detriment of the food item. Anybody who's ever had the first generation crackers and then they've had these ones will tell you that the first generation crackers are, no exaggeration, about 10 times better. They're not 2 times better. They're not 5 times better. They're 10 times better. Salt on the outside, a much more wholesome, savory flavor. They're just better all around. Hey, what's going on, Bob? What didn't taste good? I want the first gen. Yeah, me too, Caitlin. I want the first generation crackers back. No doubt. These new crackers, to be honest, I think they're like, the way I would describe them, I would call these too bleached out. They've got like a a subtle chemical flavor to them. They are extremely bleached, not very toasted at all, as you can see. Like, maybe even baking them a little bit longer would help, but I don't know how much. It's really something going on ingredients wise. Again, whatever the binder was that they, if it was butter, I don't know what they were using that held things together more back in the day. They need to go back to that though. I think there is a group of ration enthusiasts and ration reviewers in this community that if Natick was willing to work with us, we have eaten so many rations, so many United States military rations from throughout the decades. You know, MRE wise, let's just start with 1980 and come up. The past, you know, the rations over the past 42 years, which really is the technology we're talking about. We could go through there and really target some of the things that worked and also get rid of some of the things that don't really work so much, as far as making them overall a better experience for the soldier. Obviously, we got to stay on par for the caloric intake, but man, like, the crackers are simple to make better than this. It just seems like, to me and most of us, like it's common sense. But yeah, there had to be a reason for them to remove the salt from the outside of them. I don't know why. If it was just more efficient to add it into the batter or what. That is some serious packaging on them peanuts as well. All right, we can't do that, Stella. Stella, stop. Thank you. There they are. Dry and roasted and very lightly salted. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's barely any salt at all. I gotta try. I want to try like a couple of the darkest ones. Like that one looks like it's going to have some good flavor to it. Or it could be bad because of that dark on the end. I don't know. But the darker ones like this typically have more flavor, in my opinion. Or maybe it's just a reality. There. I'll just dump them out, I suppose. Those are going down the hatch, though. Wow. Those are saltier than I expected. And the dark ones do have more of that savory, almost like a juicy peanut flavor. Not bad. Yeah, I've never gotten a cheese spread that I doubted if there was an ounce in it. This, I'm going to say, is maybe 3/4 or a little bit less. Like, it's certainly not the full ounce. And they didn't change the packaging size when they went from 1.5 ounces down to 1 ounce. I still am upset about them doing that, especially with the peanut butters. See, that's cleared up some. You can see my fingers shadow through it now. The longer it sits there, the more it'll clear up like that, though. All right, my favorite bar. This is literally my favorite item that's ever been produced in MREs. Seriously. So good. Look at this thing. Oh, it smells so good. You know, it's probably been a year since I had one of these. I haven't been, I just haven't had a menu or anything that's had one in it. Look at that thing. I mean, it's even nice to look at. It looks like a nice strawberry, like, bar. But the cran raspberry, it's just, oh, perfection. Seriously, perfection. Okay, granola. Do I want to put hot water in that, or do I want to put cold water in that? What's the instructions on this thing say? It says 2 to 4 ounces of water. Okay. Scant. 1/6 canteen cup. What's scant? Is my brain broken? What are they talking about there? Scant. 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 What are they? What? Scant. 1/6 canteen cup of water to pouch. I'm confused. Anybody else got an idea what this word in particular right here is, how it's being used and what it means, I guess? I'm unfamiliar. Huh. You think that's supposed to be small? I don't think so. It's a figure of speech for measurement. 2 ounces, maybe. I mean, I could see saying estimate, EST, or ES something, you know. Definitely not. That's a puzzling one for me. Scant, 1/6 canteen cup. Huh. How is that the first time I've ever noticed that? Huh. Goose, no. You don't need to get up here. Oh, no way. Goose, go on. Come here. Yep, here, say hello to everybody. Say hello. Goose, up here. Lucy. Lucy. Oh, I know, you don't like being on your back. I know, I know. Oop. All right. Let's put some of this. Look at that. Very good looking granola. And freeze-dried blueberries, milk powder. I got way too many of the blueberries. Got to put some back to level it out. Alright, that should be about half of it, roughly. That's my only complaint about this. I wish the serving size was larger than what it is. Because right there is what's left. About another serving like this, I'd say. Oops. Alright. Hot or cold? Hot or cold? I like it both ways. Hot does seem to dissolve the water and stuff better. Yeah, we'll go with hot. Let me go add some hot water to it. All right. We will use the Australian spoon for the granola. Get a little mix. Stella, you're going to have to go back a hallway. Look how pretty that turns out. Good stuff. All right. Next, hash browns. Get up. Come on. Get up. Gotta go back hallway. Go. Get up, Stella. Then you're gonna have to stop whining. If you want to go outside, get up. Yep, she played for too long. That's for sure. Hey, Oldsmokey just picked up 3 early 2000s cases. Reese, and email if you're interested in any. Early 2000s. Depending on the years, there might be some good menus back there. It's possible. Depends on what kind of shape they're in. If they're in good shape, they're edible. I'd be interested in maybe getting a few off of you. For sure. I like opening my mains that I'm going to take out of the pouch vertically like this instead of horizontally. Look at that goodness. See what I mean? That grease and stuff that it's in, it just fries up. Oh, fries up so well. I can smell the bacon. Kind of like a little bit of a gravy to it. All right. I don't have anywhere to put this. I love that show, The Office. That's what's on my TV right now. It's just muted. All right. Breakfast of champions. Literally. What do I do with my spoon? I don't have any open MRE spoons. They're all in packages. Well, that sucks. All right, here. There we go. Little chunks of potatoes, bacon, some sort of gravy. do with it. Set it back. Curious what they're putting in that gravy. Let's take a look at the ingredients list before we munch down into this. Water, #1 ingredient, followed by bacon, cured with water, salt, sugar, sodium phosphate, sodium erythrobate, however you pronounce it, sodium nitrate, smoke flavoring, dehydrated potatoes. They're definitely not dehydrated anymore. Why do they use dehydrated potatoes? Onions, green bell peppers, modified food starch, contains less than 2% of salt, canola oil, great. And flavoring, contains milk, black pepper, and paprika. Interesting. Okay, so water, I guess, mainly, I don't know. I guess it's just what comes from cooking all this stuff together, more or less, and being a water base. So you can see the pork fat right there. Enough. Stop. You might have to give her some pain medication tonight if she's then going to be that sore. All right, here we go. The best modern menu, in my opinion. This is probably, it's up there. One of the best. Down the hatch. First flavor that hit me, other than the salt, was the bacon. Overwhelming bacon flavor just to start. The potatoes texture is really nice, and then it kind of settles out, and you start picking up on the bell peppers. Really good. I'm going to try just a little bite of cracker first. It is quite salty, though, the main. These things are so bland. They almost taste like... It's almost like eating flour. Seriously. I'm going to have Amber come in here and get her, because she is going to drive me crazy. Not really cardboard. I think cardboard would have more flavor, to be honest. It's just, it tastes like flour. And you're going to have to get her. All right, let's see if this works as a kind of like a dip, kind of. Man, this bacon was fatty. Holy cow. Look at all the fat. It's like 60% of that bite right there is just all bacon fat, pork fat, whatever. All right, let's see if this helps the cracker. I doubt it. Crackers need jelly. In a bad way. Just be crackers and jelly, not cheese spread. Like if they'd have put tortillas in here and you could put this on a tortilla, then I could see the cheese spread. The crackers add nothing other than some crunchy texture to this. I mean, that's really all it is like a, I guess like a texture change. We'll try a bite of cracker with some cheese spread with the hash browns. To be honest, it's quite overpowering. More or less all I can taste is the cheese spread. I mean, the cheese spread's not bad. It just doesn't mix well with the hash browns. The hash browns are way too good, savory, well-balanced flavor on their own. When you add this in, it really does take over flavor-wise, and mainly you taste this with a little bit of a, I mean, really, you don't even pick up much of the bacon or nothing. The cheese spread's good. I mean, it's all right on its own on a cracker. It's not bad. It's not what not what I want for breakfast. You know? I guess that could be like a kind of a brunch snack before lunch. Throw the crackers and the cheese spread in your pocket. But you could do that as well. I mean, crackers just, again, they can add some texture to this. That's about it. The main itself is about as good as it can get without frying it on a skillet, you know? You should try this. I think you'd like it. You hungry at all? You want to try just a tiny bite? Why not? No. Look, it's potatoes, bacon, a little bit of gravy stuff. I think you'd like it. She don't eat hardly anything. I think she'd like this and the biscuits and gravy one, because she's a biscuits and gravy person. I'm not. I can make good biscuits and gravy, but I'm not a fan of it. And if I'm going to eat biscuits and gravy, I want it to have a lot of chunks of sausage in it. Like, I want to eat sausage with my biscuits and gravy. Or just give me a sausage patty and I'll cut it up and put it in there with it. I mean, the texture of the potatoes is awesome, but they start off with a dehydrated potato in the cooking process of this, obviously, which is a little weird. Stella, you got to stop whining or get up, one or the other. She's being weird. I mean, she's got to, what do you expect? She's got to get exercise. Cut up 3 little sausage patties and some potatoes. O'Brien yesterday. What's potatoes O'Brien?
Potatoes, onions, and peppers.
Oh. So pretty much this minus the bacon. But yeah, I gotta have the sausage if I'm gonna eat something like biscuits and gravy or something like that. Even like, I could see making a nice wrap out of that. See, this cheese spread, if you made a breakfast burrito and put this in there, because it would melt as long as you got your main real good and hot, this and some tortillas would make one heck of a breakfast wrap. It really is. It's awesome. Tabasco. Woo! Everybody's palate's different, though. You know? In general, if you like bacon and potatoes, you'd like this. The peppers aren't really a factor here. There's no added heat, in my opinion. Maybe there is, just like very, very, very slightly. I do kind of feel a little bit of heat in my mouth, but it's not really. I think anybody heat level wise could handle this. Like, you can't even see any peppers in it. One little teeny piece right there. I struggle to find any. actually. That one little piece is all a little bit right there. I think they more or less cook down and dissolve in it, would be my guess. Nice, fairly thick chunk, thunk. That's the word for thick chunk, thunk. Thick chunk of bacon right there. That one right there. They could have cut the salt in half, though, because the bacon's already salty, right? Why add, what was it, 40 milligrams? How much was it? 240? 930 milligrams of sodium. Like, for real. They could have put half of that in there and it would still taste salty. I get the whole sweating thing, but this is to the extreme. That's a lot of salt. And it doesn't need that much salt. Like, it tastes really salty. And the bacon makes it even saltier, you know? It's good, though. I think when you fry it in a skillet, it does something to cook it down some, and it caramelizes. Kind of make, I don't know. It does help with the saltiness of it. Well, gotta love the old Tabasco. This is an old one. It's kind of chunky, but I mean, it's not like it's clogged up. It's just the way the air gets trapped in there underneath it. Let me shake it up. Maybe it is a little clogged. The cheese spread is very salty, Kaylin. I agree. I think it's, I mean, I hate to say this, but where we're a bit older, our palates, like, salt becomes less necessary the older you get. And when you're younger and doing a lot of sweating, come on, what the heck? Whoop. I don't have it. Yeah, I do. I got a toothpick right here. I want to try a bite with some Tabasco on it. There we go. That's good enough. That's all it needed. Because this old stuff is potent. My goodness. Wow. That reminds me of those old school pickled sausages. My Lord, that Tabasco is hot. Goodness. I just licked it off the toothpick like a... Whoo. All right, time out. Palate cleanse. Going for the orange. See, it's getting even more see-through now. I told you. It's weird, ain't it? Flavor-wise, I mean, it does have a very reminiscent of tang overtone. Kind of that artificial orange. It's kind of like a mix between tang and old high C, old orange high C. Honestly, that's better than I remember it. Usually, I can't stand the aspartame or the fake sweetener drinks. Not bad in this case. Not bad. I don't get that weird aftertaste with this one. Or so far, I haven't. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. My food? Oh, okay. All right. Try a bite with the, what is obviously some extremely hot Tabasco sauce. Here we go. That Tabasco is hot. Wow. One little drop of that. Literally, I only put one drop on it. And it really brought the spice level up a good bit, which I can't really handle my spice anymore. I can't eat anything spicy like I used to. It sucks. Sucks getting older. It sucks, obviously, I had some sort of digestion issue going on. I've course corrected quite a bit. Now, I was sick with whatever was going around. It had to be whatever was going around. My son had it, then I had it, and I started seeing like all kinds of people all over the country talking about having what they were quote unquote calling a stomach bug. All right, I'm gonna take one more bite. Cleanse the old palate. That is a nice palate cleanser. It's refreshing. The fake orange, I don't mind it. You know, I grew up on high C at drinking it in my Happy Meals. That was the only time I really remember getting orange high C was at McDonald's when I was a kid. I loved it though. And that's really similar to what this tastes like. There's like a very slight aftertaste of the, I assume it's aspartame, but I don't know what I've done with the packaging for that. I think I might have thrown it away. Or no, it's in my back pocket. Let's see if it's aspartame. Probably is. Let's see. Aspartame. There you go. And dexedrine or dextrin. Okay, dextrin. I thought that said dexedrine. Like, isn't that a drug of some kind? Weirdly enough. Okay. All right. On to the granola. An amazing part of this meal. Look at that. All right. It's time to get up. Now, what are you doing? Come on. Gotta put this on. Ooh. What in the world is all over you? Ugh. Did you just give her something? Come on, get up. Come on. Come on. Mom's taking you. Go. All right. Sorry. Having dog problems. All right. Blueberry and milk, freeze-dried blueberries. That's all it's freeze-dried about it. But Mountain House. What a great item. What a great item. All right. Wow. So, this might not be sweet enough for some people who like a sweeter oatmeal style. I prefer, if I can, to get my sweet, like the sugar element from fruit. Blueberries, honestly, aren't that sweet. They're sweet, like if you pick them in the wild and eat them or whatever, they're going to taste sweet to you, but they're not very sweet. Golly, look at that color. Love that purplish blue color. I don't know why that just is so appetizing to me. It reminds me, that color reminds me of some blue ice cream that they used to sell at Kings Island in the like Smurf area. I can't remember what it was called. What was that place? anyways, it was only, I think it was the only place in the park and the only place I ever knew of that you could get that particular blue ice cream. And I assume it was blue raspberry flavored, but oh, I only had it a few times in my childhood, a couple times maybe. It was awesome. Very memorable ice cream. I remember it being similar to this color, if I'm not mistaken. It was a soft serve. I mean, this is sweet, but it could be sweeter. Flavoring is natural. It doesn't taste like... I don't really pick up anything artificial about it at all, which is really nice. You know, this is something I feel like is certainly on the healthy side to eat. And you can't say that about very many items that go inside of an MRE. I would eat that every day. If that's something that you could buy, fairly affordably at your local grocery store, which, I mean, you can get it. You can buy big number 10 cans of it from Mountain House. Makes it more affordable that way. And you can buy the individual packs online. But if this is something I could go to the grocery store and buy a box of, why can I not buy a box of this? You know what I mean? Like, why not? This would outsell everything else. I can't have somebody convince me of anything else. Like, this would outsell strawberry. And I think strawberry is probably the #1 seller when it comes to like a oatmeal. And this is more like an oatmeal with just chunks of fruit in it. It's granola because it's a little bigger, but it's not. It could sell right next to the oatmeal, so I'd be just fine. I don't think anybody'd complain. I never did mix this. I wonder how Dan's doing. I talked to him the other day, but I ain't seen him show up in the live stream tonight. I figured everything was dissolved. I just wanted to make sure. Every time I look at the spoon, I think about him, because Australian, you know, mate. Last thing, well, no, not the last thing. What was this? Bill's Brew? Ain't that what it was? Or was it something else? Not the best coffee, not the worst either. I mean, it's pretty middle of the road. Slightly acidic, I like that. Tannins are pretty low. I would call it on the, well, high-low side. You know, getting near the medium. I feel like the creamer could be 2 grams heavier and the sugar could be 4 grams heavier, and it would have made a perfect cup of coffee. Or a good cup of coffee, not a perfect, a good cup of coffee. As it stands, though, I mean, it fulfills that need for a cup of coffee in the morning. It certainly hits the spot. It's not bad. I've just had way better out of U.S. rations even. Look at that thing. Look how shiny. Is food supposed to be that shiny? I think I could signal a plane with that. What do you guys think? I'm down here. Right here. It's high gloss. How you like your cereal bars? Make mine as glossy as possible. It's so weird. It's really shiny. How shiny you want? All of it. Shiny it up. I still love these things, though. They smell creamy. They smell of cran raspberry. A little bit of savory scent to the cereal aspect of it. You can even smell that. But it does have this creamy smell to it, and I don't know why it's creamy. I've looked through the ingredients on these before and thought to myself, like, why do they taste creamy? Like, it doesn't make any sense when you look at the ingredients. Unless they've changed since I had one last. All right, here we go. My favorite. Oh my. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Still got that creaminess to it. I mean, there's not even really, you can't compare this to the other First Strike bars because they're chocolate, mocha, apple cinnamon. Well, I guess you can compare it to the apple cinnamon because it's fruit. But this, I mean, just look at that. It's so much better than the rest. And I like to savor. What's up, Daniel R? Hello. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. The cereal's a little bit kind of stale in this one. It's like, I don't know, like it sucked in too much moisture or something. And instead of having that little bit of crunch to it, it's more of a weird, tacky chewiness. Still, it's good. I don't care. It's just the overall flavor. The sweetness level is perfect. I feel like there's not too much sugar in these. 22 grams of sugar. I guess I'm wrong. Honestly, probably not. I mean, I'll try it. Usually don't penetrate that outer layer. Like, you'd really have to leave it in here a long time for it to even get to the cereal part of it. It softened it up where it's hot. I had one time that CT had left laying in the dash of their truck or car, whatever they rented. I can't remember what they had at a MRE meetup that we had. And oh boy, one that was left laying out in the sun was actually pretty awesome to eat. This is something else I wish they would sell. I feel like if you could recreate this and put this for sale to the general public, you would crush it with this. I might even consider making it like slightly thinner. I would probably consider making it about as thin as this side because it's like it's fatter from right there over, as you can see. But make it about that thick right there. Just make it a little easier to eat. And if the packaging's got to be a little bigger to accommodate size. What is this? 50 grams or... Stella crashed hard. 65 grams. 2.3 ounces. She's over there snoring. All right. Flips the camera. Have a cigarette. Let's have a cigarette from... Have a smoke from Delicious from Poland. Let me go back through the chat. Let's see if I missed anything. No, it doesn't run the coffee. It actually doesn't really seep over or seep out any. It holds together. It's, I don't know. It's one of those things that it didn't really dissolve in the hot coffee. But they are. You can find those on eBay. They are expensive. The last thing I seen was 3 of them for, I want to say $12.99, which is what, $4.33 a piece. It's way too much. Figure out what menus they're in if you're going to go that route, and like try to buy the menus that they're in. Or I think they put them in a couple different first strike rations. But if you've never had one, I highly recommend getting your hands on some. And there used to be a company, man. I don't think they still exist, that would do as many as you wanted. You could buy as many as you wanted. At one time, Bob had the hookup on them too, and I hit Bob up. I'll bet you I bought 300, 500. I don't know. I gave, when I would send boxes, I would put 5 or 10 of those in a box and send them to people. I don't know what this cigarette is. It was just sitting up there. I want an old cigarette though, I think. And I had some old Polish ones sitting up here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Maybe I put them somewhere else. Actually, nope, I know where they're at. They're in here. And I thought about this a while back. I wanted to have one of these. Right here, these Alphas. These are Italian. Delicious did send me these, and I remember them being really good. I think they're non-filtered. They might be filtered. I can't remember. It's been so long since I had one. I got other packs that he sent me I've got to get opened up as well. I think they're non-filtered, yeah. It's a pretty rare pack of cigarettes. They kind of got that line on them, make them look like they got a filter on them, but they do not. And I light them the other way. They stay packed better. You light it from the other end. Yeah, it's been a long time since I had one of these. Got my first battery warning. 20%, it said. I should be able to stream for another at least 30 minutes, I would say. Maybe longer. But can't do this on TikTok. My account, apparently, the night that I tried to stream with it 3 weeks ago, whatever, I got multiple strikes that night. I was dual streaming, obviously the same thing that I do here on YouTube. They banned my account. I no longer have my TikTok account. So, and I had amassed, I had gathered like, I think I was probably getting close to, I didn't pay attention to it, but I think I was over 2,000 followers, and I posted a couple kitten videos. They weren't there because I put, people that followed me, like-minded people, whatever. TikTok sucks. Like the way that didn't tell me why. No warning, no nothing. Just Ban out of the blue, out of nowhere. What is it? A might have larger what? Lofts? LOFS? Lofts? Yeah, the old mystery cigarette. I don't know what that one is. No clue. The camera is like blurry. Everything looks blurry. Hang on a second. This alpha, man, this thing is, I'm just now of the line. You get a little tobacco in your mouth from the, obviously non-filter, but for being a cigarette from the early 70s, whoever had these took really good care of them because they're aged pretty much perfectly. Got that really nice, robust, aged flavor that comes along with a decent tobacco. This had to start off with it being a good tobacco, or it wouldn't be worth a darn, aged or not. I've started to notice a lot of the modern, what you go to the store and buy now, quality has diminished. I would say 50% over the past year or two. It's pretty bad. Yeah, burning real even. It's nice. It's not burning fast at all. And this wasn't hermetically sealed in an accessory packet or anything. This was a pack that I assumed someone either had on display, or maybe someone threw it in a drawer and forgot about it, or who knows how. Like, who knows how these vintage packs get to stay around? It's kind of a strange thing. The only pack that I've ever kept, like, intentionally, just like, okay, I'm never going to open this pack. It's a pack of Marlboro Lights. It was the last pack of cigarettes that my grandma bought. She passed away in 2007. I still have that pack put up. She didn't really smoke Marlboros either. But I think she was, because I told her back then, like, I was into tobacco. I've been into tobacco for a long time. But as far as, like, the chemicals, additions, like a Marlboro was way better. If you can use that terminology, you're way better off smoking. Back then, you were way better off smoking a Marlboro than you were a mega cheap. I mean, which I think was apparent just from trying them both, how bad the one was versus the other one's not as bad. But there's nothing really inherent, like, smoking modern cigarettes is not good. Having a vintage cigarette and enjoying an old stogie, call it, I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, that's a luxury. It's a luxury item. A lot of people don't like tobacco, though, the way it tastes. These are better than I remember them. Super smooth. Doesn't have any weird, like, off bitter tastes or anything like that. These are really good. So, early to mid 70s Italian alpha. That's what they're called. Just alphas. I think it's just alpha. Kind of a similar looking package to Marlboro with the way that is. Just move that up, and you kind of got a similar design as Marlboro. I wonder if that's what they were going for there. Very possible. But I've had a pretty large variety of vintage smokes, and it really does vary. But it's either going to be good or it's going to suck. This is a really good one. It's impressive. My chat's not staying up, by the way. Angry Blacksmith, what's up? Yeah, burn even as even as it could be, really. Whenever I go through all my stuff, I will have to take out a single from each one, and I'll have to send them to you so you can try them all. I have to label them too. That's gonna maybe put them in a, if I can find some small baggies or something, or even just use sandwich bags for each one and label it. That would work. Yeah. It's the only thing about the non-filters. When you get down so far, if you don't switch over to the left-handed variety type of hold, it'll start burning your fingers. Yeah. Oh yeah, those little, like, they got about that much room in them. The little snack bags. That would work, Kaylin. You're right. Yep. I got some of those in there. I cannot wait. Gosh, been talking about it forever. I've put bids on different homes. Thought I was going to get this last one. I really did. I put in a fair offer. Let's just put it that way. I put in a healthy offer, and I was like running through plans in my head, what I was going to do and everything I was going to change, and they pulled it off the market and decided to rent it to a doctor instead. That's what happened to the house that I was going to buy. Which, that was going to have me living down, I think it was going to have me right outside city limits, which I would have been fine with that. But if it wasn't, then I wasn't going to be extremely happy with where I was at. But I would have made it. I'd have turned it into a home, and I didn't plan on staying there forever. 5 years maybe. Granted that the Lord lets me live that long. All right. So I did. I wouldn't mind going through this, because honestly, it seems like there used to be a menu list to this somewhere. Maybe it was online, and that's what I'm thinking of. But something's apparently either busted in this, or it was, when it was put together, it was packed dirty, like it was packed with crumbs from other stuff on it. I only had 2 bad vintage smokes. One had last night was a free non-tobacco cigarette from the 80s. Free non-tobacco. Huh. Nasty, but really awesome filter design. I'll have to check that out. I like the old cork filters with the hole down the middle, because it really wasn't a filter. It was just kind of preventing the tobacco from going in your mouth, and just had a hole right down the middle. I like those. I like the old cork filters. Which you got to go back. I think there was still some around in the 30s. Maybe 40s. There might have been a couple floating around. I don't know. I don't think they were around in the 40s. Maybe. Other bad cigarette was a 1988 Premier. I don't believe they were ever launched to the public. I might have some of those, actually. How bad they were back in 88. Just in test markets. Yeah, I might have one of those sample packs. One of the worst smokes I've ever had, not vintage, was a pack that Mickey Joe sent me probably like 5-6 years ago. And I think he had went to Japan or something, or maybe he had a relative over there or something. Stop. You were just sleeping. Stop. Stella. Anyway, I think it was Japanese. Stop. Worst. Probably the worst cigarette I've ever had. Second worst cigarette I've ever had was a pipe tobacco cigarette from World War II. It was a I don't think it was a Chelsea. What cigarettes were pipe tobacco? Yeah, I know what it is. It's just gonna take me a second to remember. Dang it. That's the second. That's probably the second worst cigarette experience I've had. Most of them aren't bad. Most of them aren't bad. I mean, some of them aren't the best, but most of them aren't too bad. I've had some that were improperly stored, that were. Yeah, it wasn't a bugler. No, it was. It was actually, it was pre-rolled. Um, Man, I can't remember what it was. I got an awesome pack of old golds too that came in a tin. They came like that's how they came, and they've been sealed up in that tin ever since 1940. I think that pack I got's 44 or 43. They smell amazing. I actually sent them to Steve one time with some other prototype World War II prototype food, so that he could try it all out. The stuff that I had, I mean, there wasn't any more in existence. Most likely, I'd say what I had was it, and I packaged it all up and sent it to him, and a dog ate it. There was a pack of what apparently I didn't know, but apparently they were like sausages, like basically like beef sticks, kind of, and all the packaging was aluminum, and I verified it was 100% from the World War II era, and it was made for the military. Some of it was kind of labeled, some of it wasn't, but it was all packaged the exact same. Um, that was some interesting stuff, and I sent that pack of old golds with that because it was the same era, and I knew that they were going to be very well preserved because of the way they've been stored and packaged. It's over there in my case somewhere. That's what I got to take a second drink out of my mustache every time. Just habit now. Even if I open my mouth wide up, it's still like wide. It still gets stuck in my mustache. This coffee's better cooled down, or maybe it's because I'm getting closer to the bottom and some of the sugar and cream are settled to the bottom or something. I don't think that's the case, but it tastes slightly creamier, slightly more sweet. So I don't know. It's good though. It's good. But yeah, the fact that we can't get stuff like this anymore, which this is kind of an extreme example. This thing, again, I think it's like 5,000 calories. If you broke this down and rationed it out, like my family of 4 could live off of this thing for at least 2 days. I mean, of course, again, that would be, what, 500 calories? So it'd be a little more than that, like 600 calories each per day. It'd be 12, it'd be 24. Yeah, something like that. Like 625, something like that. It'd be down there, but we'd all get like a couple bites of each, like the chili, whatever, If you had to ration like that, you could. This also has, if I'm not mistaken, it's got that freeze-dried milk in it. Yeah, look at that. Tell me where you can get that at now. Freeze-dried chocolate milk. I see all these companies now doing the freeze-dried candies all over the place. I don't see them doing a whole lot of, because that's what the trend is right now. It's been all over TikTok and a little bit on YouTube, but mainly TikTok. Cherry drink mix, chocolate protein, survival food bars, vanilla protein shake, Mixed berry drink mix. Espresso covered. Wait, dark chocolate covered espresso beans. What else in here? Smoothie snack mix. You got a strip of water purification tablets, just like you get in the British rations. There's 10 of them. Plenty of water, so you can sterilize. Some corn nuts, vanilla shake. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. A lot. And there's a whole nother layer down here. But you just can't get stuff like this anymore. Like, there's some... I guess there is some civilian companies that are making stuff. But, man, the prices on anything like that for fresh items, if you're going to get... Because everything that Bob had during this era was fresh, like just as fresh as it could be. And you got to build your own and stuff. Like I still do have somewhere, I hope. Actually, you know what? I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know that I have that. I built a case. Build your own. I built a case. And I probably reviewed a bunch of them and live streamed a bunch of them. And a bunch of the stuff that I got off him, I live streamed. I have put away, like I do have some of the double mains. I can't remember what he called them, but they got 2 mains in them. And I thought, man, these are perfect to put away because they got all U.S. military, everything. All the side items, every single thing in them. Holy, who's that? What happened? Dan! Life's too short for bad coffee. Thank you for the super chat, Dan. Holy cow. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. I'm not passionate about coffee, right? I'm not even a regular coffee drinker anymore. I have been at multiple times throughout my life. There's been times, just depending on like what I was doing. Stop! Whenever I worked at Ravenswood Aluminum, I drank coffee every day when I worked day shift. Stella, you gotta quit, man. But I was just talking about you earlier. I used the Australian spoon. I said every time I look at these spoons, makes. Did it come back? Something's going on. Stella, I'm sorry about my dog whining in the background. We've tried to get her up out of the chair. She won't get up. She's acting like she's hurting. She's not like acting like she's hurting, but she's whining. Ever since she got sick and we kind of babied her through it, she is extremely spoiled now. And I mean extremely. Okay. I would like to try to recreate Coffee Instant and Coffee Instant Type 1. I do think that there's a huge market for that coffee. Obviously, I don't think I'd call it that. There'd be a very small niche of people that would know what it is, who would want to try it. Then they'd probably try it once, and that'd be the end of it. But I do think that if you could create it, market it, name it properly, market it properly, once people would try it, I think that would be their coffee. I think that would be, you know, as far as anybody who uses instant coffee. It really is. But again, maybe it's just maybe I've just become accustomed to it so much. I don't know. You know, I've trained my palate to enjoy that coffee so much, but I really do love that coffee. There's a couple people that I actually know that have coffee companies, and I think if I really put my mind to it and decided that's what I wanted to do, I think I could. I think I could create this coffee. I would have to have some experts and some scientific tests done with some original Coffee Instant Type 1s and Coffee Instant Type 1. I I think it could be done though. Reverse engineered. I think it could be done. Um, what about a potential name? Oh, drinking history. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, I feel like people are. I like it, but I do feel like people are more like they want something catchy, something that just. Mm. I've thought of a brand name though for something else that I'd really like to start. I think it would do fantastic with the right marketing, with the right, I don't know, couple influencers, probably in the younger realm, promoting it, or even just wearing it. I do have an amazing. I've got to really look into this. I've never seen it, but it's like one of those things that in my head I'm like, if somebody hasn't already done this, if this hasn't already been thought of, it's one of those ideas. And usually, whenever I say or think that, and I know this is going to sound a little strange, but I swear it's like it manifests. And then I'll see it like 2 weeks later. All new, and I just thought of this a couple weeks ago. This has happened to me a couple times throughout my life. I couldn't tell you remember right off the top of my head what they were, what my ideas were, whatever it was. I'd like to be able to think of that right now, but I can't. But it has happened to me a couple times. And I fully do believe in observation, manifestation, and just manifestation in general. Can't have cyanide cookies. That could be a good brand name for a cookie. Think about that. Think about something like, I mean, people are so toxic nowadays that a toxic cookie might be right up their alley. You know what I mean? The toxic cookie for the toxic people. Society. I still have hope that society is not as dull and dim-witted as they're being portrayed by the mainstream media and social media networks. I do believe common sense still is prevalent. I think it is in the majority, and I'm just trying to be optimistic. I know common sense has certainly dropped off in the younger generations that have been raised by tablets, that have been raised by laptops, that have been raised by social media apps. There are outside influences on these children that we could have never dreamed of as kids. Like the things that kids are being exposed to now from really the time that they can remember. So, I mean, it's before then even, because kids are being handed tablets and cell phones and stuff like that and laptops even, when they're 3 years old. Kids 2 years old, year old, cell phone in their hands, watching stuff on YouTube, kids shows on YouTube. But the stuff that kids are dealing with is different than we could probably really understand. We can try to understand, but we can't really put ourselves in that adolescent mind frame to really understand the things that they're being exposed to and dealing with. My kids were kind of at the tail end of that. There is a pretty substantial difference, it seems, between my older son and my younger son. There's only 3 years difference. But the technology, the way it boomed in their lifespan, made a difference between the two of them as far as the way it affected them, I feel like. And I never restricted my kids on things that they could watch. For instance, like I didn't say, well, that's a scary movie, you can't watch that. I never was that parent. Don't think that it had really much of a side effect on them, but I maybe I should have. I was a kid myself, even whenever I had kids. Now, by the time that technology came around, really, I didn't get a smartphone until 2009, I believe, was the first time we got smartphones. My kids didn't see smartphones in their hands till probably 2012, 13, somewhere along in there, probably, I would say. And, you know, they watched things on YouTube that made YouTube what it is today. And it's like YouTube wants to forget and deny and not remember where it came from. But people like Filthy Frank and iDubbbz and Max Mo, those guys, like, they're younger than I am, I think, most of them. A generation younger than me, probably. They're 10, 12 years, 15 years younger than me, I don't know. But their content, really, as crazy as it was, obviously, that could never exist on YouTube today. I think they've even taken most or all of it down. It's kind of sad, because that was an era of YouTube where it was actually content made by you, and if you wanted to watch it, like, that's what YouTube was supposed to be about. And now they censor and conform everything. If you don't, so I'm subscribing to my own theory, and my theory is humans are acting the same way that the double slit experiment, the way it played out when it's being observed, and in the light or particles that are passing through the slits, when it's being observed, they go straight. When it's not being observed, they go all over the place, right? When humans aren't observing it, and we've even tried to trick it into the way we observe it, and it still conforms and goes in a straight line like we think it should. But whenever we're not watching it, it does whatever it wants. It's all over the place. Because we're constantly being observed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, there are things in your house, your cell phone's constantly listening, cameras are constantly watching. When you're outside, people are constantly filming, and there's cameras going everywhere. We do not speak to each other the way we used to speak to each other. People say things on social media in open platforms that they used to say behind people's backs and behind closed doors. Now, we've always called those people that gossip like that a problem. You know, that you shouldn't talk behind people's backs, whatever. But when it was kept to that, when it was kept to, you know, if you were going to talk like that, you didn't do it. And honestly, you was trying not to hurt the other person's feelings most of the time, really, I think is what it boiled down to. Now people don't care. They say the meanest, vilest, nastiest things online, and that's not the stuff that gets censored. That stuff is fully out there for everybody to see the toxicity that exists on social media platforms. And I'm not saying that it should be touched. I think free speech is fine. But I think that I would much rather see that person for who they are and let them say anything they want to say. And that shows me exactly who you are. What are they afraid of? If people have bad ideas, people don't tend to flock to bad ideas or bad people. Like, that's not usually how things work. Not to say that it hasn't happened before, but usually those bad people with bad ideas are very good at playing a good person, acting like a good person. They just have bad intentions. I think where we're at today is just, there's a lot of negativity. And if you go back in the history books, in books that predate, let's just call it 1900 as a cutoff point. I think it might even be like 1890. I can't remember. Somewhere along in there, they started changing history. They started changing what was known as fact, what would have been proven. The ether is something that they've erased from the history books that is certainly real. That is absolutely, it's all around us at all times. It's an energy field that's constantly flowing, and it picks up energy from us. It makes sense in my brain, I guess, whenever I think about it. Obviously, I don't know the technical, I don't think anybody nowadays knows the technical aspect of how these things work. But our energy is certainly feeding something. And what used to be called the ether, the energy fields. They have satellites that have been up in the sky, like they've been up there since at least the early 90s, if not the late 80s, that measure electromagnetic fields on Earth. And they get a measurement every 15 minutes. Now this was back in the early 2000s, whenever the meter readings I'm talking about. I'm sure they have them, probably measure it almost constantly now. But they had this back in the late 80s, 90s, definitely early 2000s. And after 9/11 happened, there was a spike in the electromagnetic field in America. And then it expanded to the entire world. And it had to do, if you believe in what I'm saying, it had to do with how people came together and how people. Now, what resulted from that, steered by the government, was not okay. Because I don't think, well, I won't get into the technical side of it, but people came together in such a positive way. And I know you guys have all heard about the who was it? I can't remember who said it, but the America needed another Pearl Harbor to bring people together. And it did. It did. And that lasted until about 2007, late 2007, 2008. Actually, it was probably 2008. And then things changed. Measurably. Literally. What changed in 2008? I know what changed. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that's old enough to. That's old enough. I do stay optimistic that we can course correct. I think we can. I believe most humans are good. Literally, the mass majority of people have good intentions. Even if they're doing something bad, they probably have good intentions behind it. They think what they're doing is for a good reason. I'm not talking about the extreme cases. I'm not talking about the exceptions. I'm talking about the rule. And there's something strange happening. Whether you want to believe that or not, I believe it. You can feel it in the air. You can just kind of. I don't know exactly what it is. Some people would maybe call it an awakening or awareness, or it could be that some people will call it spiritual. Some people will call it. I don't know what else it could be called, honestly. There's something in the air. There's something happening. And I see more and more and more people online making videos and putting it out there that they feel like something's coming. Can I do a poll? How many of you guys can feel something in the air? I know I used to be able to do polls on here. Is this it? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Chusik, I agree. I think, well, we're proxies right now in things that we have no business sticking our nose in. Absolutely. Can I do a poll? Huh. I used to be able to do polls on here. I used to be able to type out a question. I can't see how to do that right now. But out of the 20 folks that are in here, how many of you guys feel like there's something coming? Feel like something's about to happen? Or feel like something's about to pop off? And I'm not saying just because of all the stupid, absolute ignorant rhetoric that has been pushed by mainstream media. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just like close all of that out and something feels different. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It's an energy that's kind of unexplainable to me because I don't, well, maybe there's not even a way to understand it. Maybe there's not a technical way to understand it. Like I explained earlier, I mean, the ether is real. The energy around us, everything is alive in one certain way or another. Tim. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even. I'm not even necessarily talking about that. Really, it's. I'm sure all that's a factor, but I feel like this is something that's been a long time coming. That feels like it's built up over the past 20, 25 years, and especially over the past 15 or so. And it's just, it feels like it's coming. It feels like there's a wall here, and it feels like all that, thinking about starting back here, 01, and it's all been, and it's all just, and it can't fit in the space anymore, and it's just about to come out of the box. I don't know what it is, but I hear a lot of people say the same thing. It feels like something's coming. It feels like something's about to happen. I took her over there playing with my neighbors earlier, and I got to show them some of the stuff that I've caught on film out back of the house here, and how I was at the. I went to homecoming the night that I was sick last Friday. I was real sick, like unbearably sick, but I wanted to go because Amber was in the alumni band, and I wanted to film it for her. So she had that, and I transferred it over on Facebook, or I downloaded Facebook on my phone, let her download it, and then I took Facebook right back off my phone. Don't even like that it was on there. Anyway, I went home as soon as I could, which was right after halftime. But while I was there, I caught something on film, and nobody else. It's like nobody else saw it. It's a pretty good little video. When I first seen it with my eyes, I'm like, it was a dot. I'm standing behind the bleachers, and in my field of vision, there was a dot in the sky, and it was moving back and forth like this. And I thought, somebody's flying a drone, filming the game. I watched it do that for about 10 seconds, and it hit me. I was like, well, that thing ain't got no flashing lights on it. That's weird. Pulled my phone out. I was like, check this out. This thing ain't got no flashing lights on it. It's up there flying around. And I thought, still thinking maybe it's a drone. And I watched it. It kind of flew to the right, real slow. It kind of sped up a little bit, and then it slowed back down. And then it just took its good old time, and it flew away, way up into the sky. At first, I thought it was a bug, because I thought there were bugs flying around out there, like hovering, and it was going like back and forth. And then I was looking at it, I was like, that ain't a bug. What is that? Maybe it's a drone. Somebody's filming the game. Well, it's not. That's probably not a drone. There's no flashing lights on it. So I filmed it. It's actually, I don't know what it was. It seemed very close by. It looked pretty close. And then I watched it take off out into space, I guess is what you'd say. I should upload these videos sometime. I don't know that my channel is the right place for them. That's the reason I haven't done it. I did reach out to a couple of the channels where it would be appropriate. I never heard back from them. You know, honestly, I don't understand what these people's deals are unless they're just really not that interested in genuine sightings and things that I've seen. Like, not just but people see. If they're only more worried about things that are viral or things that have hit mainstream media. Because, like, think about the headline that you could put with my clips. And I got a bunch. I mean, heck, last year, right around this time, I had like a month and a half or so of almost every night sightings. Almost every night. And, you know, if it wasn't for the one night that me and Ethan were out there, and this was right in the beginning, this was in the first day or two, it might have been the first night, which I watched it for hours that night. I think it was out there for about 2.5 hours. I watched the one come from complete outer space, and it was up there, like, way, you could tell how, like, it was coming, and it was moving. My God, was it moving. Had to be thousands of miles per hour because it came from complete outer space and then joined in with the other 3 that were across the river. And he saw this. My son, thank God he saw it, and I'm not just like telling the story what I saw. He actually saw it with me. Thank goodness. Because I saw it when it was way further out, and I'm screaming, Ethan, do you see that? Oh my, what is that? And we watched it come down, and the other 3 were kind of making a weird rotation over here, and that one that came from way out wherever came down and added in with them and just joined right in the rotation. Probably the strangest, like, or I don't know how to describe it other than it confirmed it for me that wasn't just some guys over there flying drones or something, you know, like that right there, that experience, what we saw, it come from wherever, outer space, and join in. There's no explanation for that. There's no way, well, there was a guy flying a drone thousands and thousands and thousands of feet up there, and nope, it wasn't a perspective thing. It was what we saw. And also, it was way brighter and way faster. My God, was it fast. Probably, I don't know, it felt, because of the adrenaline, I'm going to say it might have been like a 2-3 second entry, maybe 4 seconds. It wasn't very long. Maybe it was 5 seconds. I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds entry to join in with the others. Just crazy. Well, my phone is going to go dead. It just came up and said 10% a few minutes ago, but yeah, how many of you guys think something's about to happen? Man, I'm telling you, I'm interested in that because of my own experiences. It's not like you know, I guess it's just not like a typical person that hasn't ever seen or experienced anything, enjoying watching things on the internet. Life experiences that started in 2007 and have followed me around. I've had so many experience because I look up a lot. I feel like people don't look up. I feel like maybe that's a lot of the reason why there's not more sightings. It's because people are always busy and they're, you know, you're looking down and driving. First time I was driving, but luckily, like the way I was driving, the wide open sky up here, I seen the 3 silver dots that were like here, 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 and all of them had a white pigtail of smoke underneath them, and it just didn't change. It stayed that way from driving past the Racine Locks and Dam all the way up to, I was almost at Ravenswood, so you're talking 25 minutes probably from there to the gas station. They didn't move, stayed in my line of sight the whole time. I was able to see them outside of when I was winding through the mountainous areas, but as soon as I'd come out, I'd find them again. And I stopped at the gas station. and was in there talking to the gas station attendant, the lady working there. There's a big bay window next to the cash register. And I asked her if she could see the silver things that I could see out there. And she was looking. She's like, yeah, what is that? And the power lines were running, like, you looking through the window, the power lines were within eyesight of the dots. So you could see that they were not moving. And as we were standing there talking about it, we both watched one of them go and take off. And the smoke underneath of it, like, dissipated real quick and it was gone. And she freaked. She's like, oh my God, what was that? And ran outside because I was leaving anyway. So I went outside and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I've been watching them things all the way my drive up here. And one of them just took off and the other two are still just sitting there. And I was pretty new at the job and I needed to get to work. So I went to work, saw them all the way as I was walking in there. And that was it. That was the last I seen of those two. But that was the first time that I had, like, I would have to call that a confirmed strange sighting. And ever since then, I've kept my eyes pointed up as much as I can, looking all the time. I had an experience on the boat. This is not one I've talked about on here anyway. We were working up in Charleston, and we were right upriver from the city. And there's a bunch of bridges up through there. And we were either dropping or picking up an empty barge right there next to a bridge. And I was one barge length out away from the boat, walking back, and I seen the lowest object that I've ever seen. And it was fast. I got on the radio. I was like, hey, Jimmy. He was my captain at the time. I said, hey, Jimmy, did you just see that fly over top of us? He's like, no, man, I didn't see nothing. Which they're usually, like, not necessarily, they're looking down at you guys or they're looking at doing something else. He didn't see it. And it's lit up inside the pilot house and you can't really, it's a weird setup. You can't see things in the sky. Let's put it that way. Within 2 to 3 minutes after that, I don't know what kind of helicopters they were, but there was 3 helicopters that flew right in the same path, right over top of us, in the middle of the night. Like, it was probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I know I was on, you work 6 hours on, 6 hours off, 6 hours on. It was my midnight to 6 a.m. shift, or 11:30 to 5:30, 11:30 to 5:30. I don't know what that one was, but that was an interesting one because there was what I can only assume is a government response right there, or maybe they were all linked together, and that was something we have. I don't know, but that was a weird one. What else? Seriously, I've had a lot. It's for quite a few years now. I've felt like I've got some sort of weird connection to this. It's a feeling. And it's like I can feel when I need to go look. Does that make sense? I feel like, oh, maybe I should go out there and look around for a while. And I do. Sometimes I don't see nothing. A lot of times I do. A lot of times. Not always, but when I have that feeling, like, I would say, I don't know, 50% of the time. I haven't had that feeling in a while. The other day, what I caught at the game, I mean, I had no feeling then. When they were showing up almost every night, if not every night, but some nights I couldn't see because of cloud cover or whatever, I would get that feeling like, oh, I better go out there and look. And they'd be there. And I would look before I got the feeling and there'd be nothing there. I'd be like, is there anything over there? And then they'd show up. And they were pretty consistent at that time. They were showing up, and it wasn't consistent, but it was pretty consistent. Between 2 and 4 a.m. usually. Again, I've got all kinds of video on this device right here. That's what I was just talking about, Chusik. I don't know if my channel is the right place for it. Again, I've reached out to some channels that I think that it would fit on, and I've I've still got connections in the TV world and stuff. Maybe I should reach out and maybe I should reach out and show them the footage I got. I feel like the longer the time goes by, I'm going to have more. I'm telling you, it's just within a year, I will catch at least a few things every year. Last year, I got a bunch of, over that month and a half or whatever, about 40 some days that it showed up. And then sometimes I don't catch it on camera. Sometimes I don't. And that stuff over there, like I stopped filming it. It was so common. It was nightly. Man, I cut my fingernail bad. That I was like, what's the point? Why film more? Caught it last night. I filmed some last night. Whatever. And then it might get cloudy for a couple days, and I didn't get anything for a couple days, and then whatever. And then I'd film some. But it was consistent for a long time. Really weird. All right, well, I'm going to have to get off here only because my phone is going to die, I guess. It sucks. I don't think I can check it. Huh. I can't check my battery. Hang on. That sucks. That I can't see my battery percentage. Still a green dot, but that might mean that I'm live streaming. Man, I cut my finger bad. Wintertime, my hands always dry out really bad. But alright guys, I'm going to finish up my meal. I'm still, I got room for it, so. I don't know if this is, I thought about doing a live stream. I've got 2 huge bonfires that I have to have pretty soon. I do have some plans early this week, but I thought about live streaming some stuff out there, like sitting down, just kind of chatting, being able to chat, have some cocoa beverage powder and maybe like some ration snacks or something, and lighting off some. I've got a big tree stump I got to try to burn down, and a bunch of old wood that was there with it, and then I got another pile out here that's an entire tree. I got a bunch of stuff that I gotta burn, and I got a couple vehicles that I got to get towed away. Offered to give the one to this neighbor kid, and he's so inconsistent, man. Like, try to help somebody out, and you can't even help people out sometimes. It's weird, ain't it? You give them options, they put a little work in, and they can have something, If I was in a situation and someone offered that to me, maybe it would be a little awkward, like taking that kind of help. But if you know somebody needs that kind of help and you're willing, you're offering to help them. Because I've told them, I'm like, look, man, if I don't help you out with it, I'm just going to have it taken away. And it doesn't need to be just scrapped. It's not a scrap. I bought it for my son's first vehicle. Like, I trusted to put my son in it. But whatever, I'm over it. Got to get rid of it. Get rid of the Blazer. Is what it is. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off of here. What kind of help were you? I wasn't asking for help. Not me. No, I was offering to help my neighbor. I was offering to help him out with a vehicle. I got a vehicle out there that he could certainly use, and he seemed extremely interested in, and then he just didn't follow through. So I've let it sit there longer than what I would have, because I thought I was going to be able to get him to do something with it. And look, and you watch, I'll have that thing towed off, and it'll what'd you do that for? bud, look, you've had months. You've had months. What do you want? What do you want? Some people, man, some people you just can't. Some people you just can't help. You know what I mean? Even though you try. All right. Well, anyway, thanks to everybody who's hung out. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to my patrons. Thank you guys. Thanks for the super chat tonight, Dan. I appreciate you, man. Just to move it. No, I was gonna give it to him. Here, you can have this. Yeah. No. Yeah. Not to move it. No, I'm just having it. I'm just gonna have it taken. I mean, they're gonna pay me for it. One guy will come and get it and give me $500. Whatever. I'm over it. Anyway, all right, y'all. Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of did. It's like, yeah, all right, yeah. And then nothing. I've said something a couple times, like, hey, man, you gonna do something with it? Yeah. Nothing. So here we go. Here I am. Just express to you guys the way I feel about it. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. It's got to go because that garage has got to come down. I'm tearing that garage down. I think I'm just gonna buy a skid steer and a trailer because I'm going to most likely like put my buddy in that and let him start doing business with a skid steer and a trailer and a truck and a dump truck. That way you can haul gravel in, make a road, go in, scrape, cut out foundations, stuff that you do with skid steers. But I'm going to use it on my place first and tear that garage down. I will leave the foundation, well, the concrete in there is amazing. Doesn't have a crack in it. And I think it was built in the 60s, that garage. But the block around it is not holding up. And, like it must be some really thick concrete. That's all I can think, because it had a tire machine mounted in there. There's a car lift in there. I got to get that out of there. That, or I got to get it working or something. But I'd say I'll probably just take it out. It's huge. It's got a hydraulic cylinder about that big around that comes straight up out of the middle of the floor. And it's got the big, like, iron or steel rectangle that's got 4 arms that come out on it. It's got to be from the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. But that entire concrete floor doesn't have a crack in it. Like it should. It should have cracks in it. I would think. Everything around here cracks. It gets hot and cold and hot and cold. We get below zero, and I figured it'd have crack. It does not have a crack in it. So I'll probably just keep that concrete and just rebuild a garage right there. It saved me from having to pour concrete. I'll just get rid of that lift out of there and make myself a nice garage there. Probably 2-story it. I'll make it have an upstairs. All right, I was signing out of here. My phone is going to die. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream. I might be doing a bonfire type live stream next time, just kind of shooting the breeze with you guys. Hopefully it'll be a nice clear night outside, and we might end up seeing something. You never know. Seriously, you never know. Look up the history to Mason County, West Virginia. Native American written history, which they, English, whatever, had to write it down after they come over here and got their accounts. Look up the paranormal / UFO history of Mason County, West Virginia. It's interesting. Point Pleasant, Mason County, whatever. I can't remember if it was worded Point Pleasant or Mason County. Anyways, appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.